Carlton doing? What have you made at the start of the season?
Yeah, they've played three really good sides, and their form's been pretty solid without getting across the line. So we're treating Carlton as though, well, on what we know, which is they're playing pretty good footy. They're a good team, and it's going to be a real challenge again for us this week.
Are you wary of their record over here? It's been pretty good over the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, I'm wary of the fact that past records really have no influence on the game coming up. So I'll spend zero amount of time on the last 25 years of footy.
How similar is now under Mick, the Carlton, Collingwood, and even back to West Coast, the game plan? Have you noticed many changes, similarities?
Not going all the way back to West Coast days, but some stuff that Mick does, that he's done over his time with Collingwood and probably in more recent years. You can see that he's trying to implement some of that at Carlton. But it's a different squad as well that he's working with, so there'll be some changes and adjustments along the way. So we don't expect that everything's exactly the same, but we have had a good look at what Carlton are trying to do so far.
A couple of injuries out of the weekend. Do you just feel unlucky at the moment with the guys that have been going down? You've had a wretched run over the last...
Yeah, it's been pretty tough, but we certainly try not to look at it as though we're unlucky. We try to look at it as though, is there ways we can manage things better, and we challenge ourselves to look at possible reasons why. So, yeah, we'll deal with that again. We got a couple of players back on the weekend, but we lost another two or three, including Brant College through the waffle. But, yeah, we're focused on what we've got to work with, and while we're doing that, we're trying to make sure that we're doing everything as well as possible to avoid some of these injuries.
How did Daniel Kerr pull up from his first game back?
Pulled up really well, yep.
John, you spoke about the differential of inside 50s and the problems after the Hawthorn game. Were you able to implement what you looked at during the week against Melbourne, and what are you looking for against Carlton, who've provided a lot of scoring power in their first three games?
They have. Yeah, definitely. There was aspects of the way we were playing that we wanted to address against Melbourne, and I think we took a step forward definitely in there. We've got to build on that, and that's a focus for us. And yes, Carlton have been scoring well, so we're aware of that. And
Mackenzie and Rosa, are they a chance this week? Where are they at?
I expect that they'll both get through training this afternoon. So, yeah, the likelihood is that they'll both be fit and available for selection this week.
Rosa likely waffle, or?
We're fit to play. So we've got to pick a team, and Rose is very highly regarded at this footy club by the offers. So we've got to weigh up that versus how long he's been out. With Embley going out injured, leaves a vacant spot in the team that we've got to fill, and we'll see who's available to fill it.
Who are the others, Wish? Some of the kids in the waffle that have obviously been going okay. Who else might you look at?
Yeah, Dalziel was unlucky to drop out as the sub from last week and had another outstanding game. Hutchings, another outstanding game in the waffle. So those two are definitely in the mix as well. Ash Smith's been in good form in his 2 weeks back in the waffle as well.
Mackenzie, can you play Mackenzie, Brown, Schofield and Glass in the one team?
It depends what you want. If you want to play them, you can. If you want all those guys in, and if the opposition had matchups for that. So, yeah, we'll pick the best team.
Does Carlton have a matchup for those boys, or is there one too many tools?
Well, it depends if you call Schofield a tall, because there's some weeks he can play on smaller players, no doubt about that. He's done it in the past. So, look, in short, you pick the best team available for the opposition, and if there was only one tall required, we would have to make that call. If there's two required, we'll pick the best two, or the two that match up the best, and the same as we go on.
Brown, it seems like Mackenzie for Brown, that would be what happens over the time. Is that an automatic?
It's not automatic, no. No, it's not. So again, it depends on the who's going to play on who, and decisions we've got to make.
Mackenzie too good though to go back and play a game in the waffle?
If he's fit to play, we still rate Eric really highly, playing on the opposition's probably biggest or key forward. Yeah, so we think he's in our best team.
Which, how much did you have to rejig things when Brennan had to come in? I know you said he did a terrific job, but not really a like for like with Bose. So what happens in that situation when you you lose one type of player and then obviously only have the other alternative available.
Yeah, well, very quickly you've just got to assess what it means for the team. And then talk. That may change 3 or 4 players' roles slightly and their matchup slightly. So you've quickly got to communicate that to those guys and make those decisions. So you're doing that, in the 20 or so minutes that you have when you find out that someone's pulled out late.
Do you train for that sort of thing in pre-season? Because obviously that's what happened on the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't really train for it, but you do talk about a lot of scenarios going into games, and we know the capabilities of our different playing group. So we know if Bo's out, how we would shuffle players around.
How's Natanui been progressing in this combat?
I think really well. Yeah, everything appears to be going really well. It's great having him on the training track, and he's, from what I've seen, been stepping up his workload. So there's no holding him back at the moment. He's progressing with a view to be back playing pretty soon.
Okay, so how far off is he at full training at the moment?
That's a hard one for me to answer because no player does full training. So what we call full training is different for every player, but he'd be close to it now, I would think.
Yeah, and you said he might be close back to playing again. Do you have a rough kind of timeline on?
No, it was always around 3 or 4 weeks of full training. So he might only be a week into that. Or he might only be one session into it. I'm not really sure.
And Sharrod Wellingham, his recovery seems to change week to week in terms of time frame.
Does it?
Has from the lists that have come out.
Yeah. He's about the same as Natanui, about 3 weeks, something like that.
John, obviously home wins are crucial for travelling sides who want to make the top 4. How important is it to not drop another one at home?
No, not drop another one. That's our focus. We want to perform really well anywhere. So you want to be in the top 4, you've got to win a lot of your games, not just home games. So, Carlton, doesn't matter where we're playing them this week, it's a game we want to win.